Welcome to Governor Dodge State Park, Twin Valley Campground, shown in the off season. We are going to take advantage of the trees not being filled in yet to get a really good view of all the campsites this large campground has to offer. Come on along, let's get it going. Now the big difference here between off season and on season is the showers and water and flush toilets are closed this time of year, and the campground host that would be over here is also not here yet. It's pretty sparsely populated. I was here Monday night, middle of April, so yeah, not a lot of people are thinking about camping, but I saw 70-degree temperatures and I'm like, I am taking the time. So we're gonna head over here to the closed section of the campground and give you a nice detailed walking tour. Now you might be able to see this now. What makes this Twin Valley is there's a valley now between the two sections of campground here. The campgrounds are really laid out up on a bluff, and then there's these deep ravines and valleys all the way around it. All right, we're going to start with sites 300 through 356. That's a section that is currently closed. And I'm really excited to be able to do this campground tour now when there's almost nobody here, because I hate poking my head into people's campsites, just so we can get a better view of what they're like. Now, this is sort of at the junction of all the loops is the playground here. So it's convenient for everybody, not just this loop. Now, I think one of the reasons this section isn't open in the winter is it only has a shower bathroom facility building, not pit toilets. The other section has pit toilets, and those are fine in the winter. So I'm going to start 300 here. Fairly simple site. Very slopey spot for your picnic table though. 301 is electric on the inside. I have a feeling the inside's going to be electric, the outside's not so much. This one's a little deeper, got a side section over there. 302 over here. Again, non-electric. Fairly flat once you're in there. We have water here. In front of 303. Slopes back up in. Quite a bit of room back up there if you got to dance around the power pole when moving something but the moving equipment in here. But that fire ring also is what I would consider a great spot to stick an RV, but don't do it there. 304 over here, quite deep. This one will hold a very long camper or something, but no power. This is the trail, one of the only trails that comes off of here. There are lots of trails throughout the park. This one, if you follow it, it does go down back up to the other high side of the campground, or all the way down to the beach, Cox Hollow Beach, I believe. That's about almost a mile to the beach. 305 over here. You see the raised pad here, and then off to where your tents would be. Okay, we got a section here that's very open to each other. No cover for this whole stretch here. Backing up. 306 is the first one here. Definitely, you can only set your RV or whatever down below. You could tent. The fire ring's way up on the ridge there. Power's way up on the side. But if you have a bunch of people who want to be together, this is a good spot right here. And that's 307, 309. Those are actually a pair of sites. I think those are meant to be rented together. And there's another pair further down there at 310 and 312. Take a quick look over here at the outside, 308. Again, definite pad here. This one has power. And tent off to the side. Yeah, these are kind of neat because, okay, I got a pair here, single fire ring up top and the two tables. So these are definitely meant to be used together. Somebody sits a little higher than their neighbor. 311 over here. Quite large and power. So this will hold a very large rig in here. Always check the sites, will tell you how large a rig they can handle and confirm that's what you want. All right, so we got spot for two rigs here. The tables, the fire ring's way over there, and there's a sort of flat spot up there. And that was, oh, well, that's 312. I need to double check my numbers here. So this double site is 310 and 313. 312 is over here. All right, I got a fun split to deal with here and figure out how to show you. I may have to be coming back around. Okay, so 315, a lot of room here. It's power poles over there, but if you wanted to, you could set up over here if you don't need the power. There's 314 through 356 that way. We're going to get back to that. We'll continue around the outside. 316 over here. Again, with power. And you can see right now the distance and the vistas, but come summer, you're not going to see any of that. All right, coming up on 317 here. This one is fairly short and distinctively don't fall off the edge, so don't put a big rig in here. Side section for the table and fire ring. We gotta see what's going on. Okay, so 318 over here. Again, not a very, well, it's fairly long. Not as short as the last one. But here you'll see we're kind of living on the edge of the world. After this, it falls off. It goes right on down over there. So 319 over here. Not a huge site. Kind of distinctively, they put the fire ring and the picnic table over here. But easy access, but not being right on top of a shower building and the pit toilet over here. But if you want to bring out your games, your yard games, this is the place to be. All the room in the world for that. All right, 320 here. Again, with power, fairly basic. 321 backs up to the shower and the pit toilet over there with a little access to that green space. 322E over on the right here along the edge of the world, because edge of the world means there's a cliff beyond this. There's deep ravine beyond. 323. Fairly large area over here for tents and things. They've done a lot of cleanup this winter, trying to cut things back trying to keep it clear so you can actually get your rigs in here and things without getting caught in the trees. This is 324 here, which is very long. 325 on the right here. Pretty deep. Not a never ending because it does have a definite end on the pad there before it drops off. Like I said, you can see through all this now, but once it greens out, you're not going to see through much. 326 over on the right here. 327 on the left. This one has a nice area over here if you want to put your bags out here or something to play next to your rig. You can see since they're doing tree work, things are a little soft, but try not to put anything out here because they wound up trenching it doing tree work out here. 328 over here on the right. This one falls off the cliff right off the side here, but the side is fine. 329 here on the left, again backs up to the pit toilet and the facilities over there and the green space. I do like doing this when there's nobody around. It's probably one of my more visual tours of a campground that I've done. 375 over here. This one gives you a lot of variety. Come straight in. You usually want to park by the power. Park your rig, but then you have room to bring 2 vehicles to the side if you want. $330 across the way here. This is a very wide site. But again, of course the power's on the right, so. And all of these are simple back ends sites. Now, I'm going to go check out these other couple little sites over here. Okay, starting this again, 315 is over here, 316 there. I'm going to do this little center section here right now. I got 314 on my left. Not super deep, but big enough. $346 over here on the right next to the facilities. Again with power. Now it's not paved, so it's not technically an accessible site. We have the next stretch of sites going down that way. We'll come back for that. Which means more walking for me. And then that's it in this section until I get back to the outside loop again. 332 over here. 331 on the inside. Then I have 333 and 334 on the inside, which are a pair. So you have your 2 pads and a big green space off the back there, as well as off the side here. So plenty of room for activities. 335 on the right. This one's right up to the edge of the cliff there. 337, 338 on the left. Another pair. Not as much green space as the last one. Easy access to the restroom up top. 336 on my right. Again, still with power here. And again, backing up to the edge of the hill. 339 on the right. As you can see through all this brush, this will fill in and no one will know you're back there. So 339, take a better look in there. Goes pretty deep. Another pair at 340, 341 on the left here, with water access right adjacent to it. .342 over on the right. Got 343 up on a pad here. Nice wide site there, all flat. 344 on the left here, with a big beautiful tree that you have to dance around. And the power pole's all the way straight back, not off to the side. But you do have to sneak past the tree. And I skipped over here. 345. Again, wide and flat. Now I'm gonna walk down to the other end and do my hike up. All right, back down at the split again. And I'm gonna start heading up the row, starting with 347 on the left. It's not a huge site, a smaller pad compared to some of the ones we just saw. 348 on the right, a little more flat. 349 on the left. Again, with these raised pads, they kind of limit where you can go. Not a lot of room for a flat spot for your picnic table or a tent. There's a good spot up in the back there. 350 on the right. A little flatter. 351 on my left. Again, we got good cover between sites here. Again, on a raised pad. 352 on the right is another flat section. .353 on the left, right across from the shower house. There's a convenience factor, but there's also the coming and going of everybody else who's going to want to shower here that you have to contend with. Who doesn't want to walk to the shower? .354 on my left. Fairly flat throughout. Still some cleanup to be done here. It's pre-season in this section, just remember that. 355 on my right. This is the accessible site with accessibility to the shower building. 356 on my right here, and this is the last one in this section. So this one's convenient between the shower building. It's not a very big one, but it's also close to the playground. All right, so I'm going to move over to the other section now and show you those that are also open off season. Now what I did here last night, as dusk was settling in, I heard the turkeys in the distance gobbling away. Heard some owls and a pack of coyotes howling away last night. So Obviously, the point of these videos is to show you the sites so you can pick the best site for you and your family. Now, of course, usually you have to pick the best site of what's left available by the time you get looking, unless you're booking 6 months out or more. Right now, I was spoiled for choices in this section. So we're going to start in the next section here, starting at 255. This section is open, but there's only a few people here. Non-electric. 256 over here is electric. You got to get up and around the corner with a rig with this one. So it's flat once you're up there, but you got to get up around the corner. 257 over on the right. Definitely meant for tent or small camper, pop-up, something like that. Again, let me just show you how much on the edge of the world we are over here. As we hit this valley between the last section and this section. So the last section of the campground was over on the ridge over there. Big ravine down here, and all these sites. There's actually true straight outcropping, straight drop-offs a little further over there. All right, let's continue on. 258 over here, slopes up and way back to get to the power. So you would be sticking your rig, turning at that tree and going back to get hooked up. 259. Now this one has the log that's your parking area, and then a nice flat spot back there for your tent pad, and then you fall off the earth. 260 on the left, again sloping up and back like the last one. So if you're bringing in a rig here, you got to come all the way back and plug in back there. These are for the good drivers only back here. 261 looks a little more straightforward. Very long sight. Very, very long sight. This one goes way, way back here. Fairly isolated. A little easier to maneuver than the last couple of them. Now across the way from that site, 262, 263, 264 are tent sites. I'm going to take you down to this one. There's someone in that one over there. These are walk-ins. They're not a long walk-in though. They're just taking advantage of the terrain here. So you can either tent here or tent over there with your fire ring and table in the middle. And all of these back up to the edge, and as you can see, we have rock outcropping out here. Okay, continuing on, 265 here. Goes back up again on the left. You can see the last of the tent sites hiding down there, but you won't see it in the summer. 266 here on the left, again, way back up to your parking spot. Water access across from that. 267 electric, again power's way back here, but the entrance is down here that you're backing into. Pit toilet behind that. That is currently the only available facility in this loop. 295 over on the right. Let me see, is that a pull through? I think this one is a pull through, no power. But if you really don't like to back up that pop-up camper or something, keep it small because you've got some overhanging branches here. I actually had a duck walking through it, so that's important to know. 268 over here. Again, way back up to get to your power, where you're plugging in and where it's flat. And then a next series of tent sites out here. So 269, 270, 271. I'm going to go check out 270. No, I'm not going to check out 271 because that one's, I don't know if they're in there or not, but it is reserved. We're going to go all the way back here to the farthest one. Now here in the off season, and the off season only, I assume, you can see the glimmer of the lake way down in the valley. Once the leaves fill in, there's no chance you're going to see any of that. But a fairly nice site, big section up here for tents. Nice flat spot. Other tent sites way over there, and then there's the middle site in the halfway point. So there's good separation between these tent sites. Okay, continuing on after the tent sites over here. 272. Tent sites are beyond. I can actually see the tent straight past this. It kind of cuts down and back, but you can just park over here. No electric on this one on 272. 273, 274 are a pair. It's just an extra wide site. Power pole. So this one you have to go way back over there to get into position. $275 over here. $276, $277, another pair. This time of year, I guess you can just get one. Normally they won't let you do that. Unless he's got a friend coming later. 278 over here. We are now on the other side of the loop. Sun sets straight off that way. 278 over here. Goes way back in over there. 279 over on the left over here, adjacent to the water with power. Looks like somebody has hit that power pole though. This one's a little rutted. Hopefully they'll grade it before the season. 280 over here. Not a huge site, not very deep. The depth here is limited by the terrain, but it's extra wide. And you can see the deep valley and the hills coming back up the other side right now. 281, very deep site. That's a very long, deep site. 282 over here on the right, backed up to the cliff side, across from the pit toilet. 283 on the right. 284 on the left. That's about all I'll show you of that. 283 over here. Now, this is a don't when camping. They left the garbage here. They had it all bundled up. But there's critters out here. They expect somebody to come by and clean this up. So I'll have to do this before I leave. Just come through here, gather up the garbage. Like this is somebody's intention of a grate. So I'll clean this up before I leave. There is dumpsters on the way out. You can't help but drive past them. So take your trash with you. 285. That's my site. I had to do some maneuvering to get it in there. I'll show you that. So I backed in here, and there was enough room for me to just make this corner and back all the way over there to a fairly flat spot. 286 back here. Pretty deep straight shot there. Slopes down a little. 287 over here. Again, you've got the drive and then a flat spot over that way. So if you can maneuver a pop-up or something, that'd be really nice there, or just a good place for tents. 288 on my left, straight shot down. 288 on my left. 289, 290 over on the right. It's a pair of tent sites, no power. Just a big wide site. And this one hangs off the cliff. I'll show you that. So if you wanted to, you could be one of those people who backs the van up here and then opens the back doors to look out. All right, 291 over here, 292 over on this side, again over on the hill. Now we're back to the center section. The shower house that currently is not open. Campground host up the way. 293 right here. Power pole's way down there, which is kind of strange. All right, coming up the hill here. Playground's right there. First thing we hit is campground host. Getting pre-season, no campground host. 201 right here. Non-electric. Climbing the hill. 202 on the right. Does have power. Pretty flat. Right now you can see, yes, you're backing up to other campers. That actually looks like it may stay kind of clear through there. So know that, and I think that's a pair of sites. So there may be more partying going on between 202 and 202 than you may like. 203, wide, big site, lots of room there, no power. 204 on the right here. Fairly large, again backed up to the party site. 205 on the left. That's pretty big. We got the teardrop over here at 206. And yes, you have to get all the way up there before you get level, so that's a perfect size for a level spot on that site. 207 on the left here. Goes way back. It's got a bit of a dip in and then it levels off. And this is one of the hiking trail access points. Again, heading towards the lake. Sign down there as you cross the road says 0.8 miles to the lake. 208 here on the right. 209 on the left with that big beautiful tree back there. This seems a little low here, but now we got to cut through here, but we're going to take the full outer ring first. 212 on my left, another wide site. 210 and 211. So 210's entrance is down there, 211's is here, but they share space in the back. And the power pole for 210, even though you start there, is way over here. And the other one's out there. And these back up to the facilities. 213 down here on the left. Another big site. Not a lot of extra green space or grassiness at all because we are very wooded in these sites. 214, 215 are another pair that are like the last pair. 215 or 214 I guess would be here. 214 or 15 is way over there and comes around to that power pole. And then shared space up top. 216 down on my left. Now you are allowed 2 vehicles per site, so you could have 4 vehicles bringing the group here. A little bit of a gap. 217 and 218 on the right. 217, 218's over there to this large gathering space here. 219 on my left over this way. I can actually see the dumpsters over there from here. 220 on my left. And this transit and their tent are 221. Water there. 222 over here on my left. It slopes down and in. Now as we get over here, we're back to the cliff edge. We're on the other side, sort of the equal side to where my site was, but way down there. 223 is a pull through. The tent is on a lower step down section, so you do have a little lip there to not drive off. 224, sorry, is tucked up in here. Goes up over here, plenty of room, and then step up to your fire ring and table. 225, another pull through. Now down here, none of these are electric inside or outside. Now we terrace down to an area for your tent. You could hang out here on chairs too. This one pulls through, that's kind of nice. Next one is pull through too, but first I gotta come over here. 226 and 227, just a slightly wider site. It's not a huge shared site like some of the others. 228 is another one of the terraced ones, pull through. You can see 229 pulling back up and to the right near the facilities. 230 is another pull through down there with its tent site and table over here. This is so much easier to show you. If I was doing this in the summer, you wouldn't know that that was there. 231, backing up similar to how they did, up and over to get to your power pole. 232 is another pull through. These would be great for those that aren't very skilled at backing up. So that's 232. It is pretty flat. You could easily put your pop-up or small trailer down there and keep it flat. 234 over on the left here too. This one now you have to back down. Now, I'm going to take a slight detour on this one and show you what these sites have access to. So a couple of those sites up there that were kind of step terrace down, they back up to this little point. I mean, they could have made this a tent site, but it's too nice to not share. So this is a shared space behind. See, I got a couple turkey vultures hanging in a tree over here off the edge of the cliff. But this nice little pine needle platform, it's flat out here. I mean, if you wanted to, you probably could, if you were adventurous and your parents would let you, pitch a tent down here for one of those sites. You're far from the bathroom, but you're also right on the edge of the cliffs. This is a pretty cool spot out here. This is a nice place to hang out and explore. You can scramble down that way. No trails specifically out here, but this is a really pretty little spot here. Okay, that was 234. Now while standing here, I noticed at their power pole where you put your tag. I don't think I'd want to reach in there and put my tag in there right now, or certainly in the summer. So check those spots before you stick your tag up in here. Make sure there's nothing living up there. Okay, back to this 233. Sorry, 233. This one goes way back up in, over on the right side, on the inside. Big flat spot way up there and a long drive in. So when the trees are filled in, you're pretty isolated back there. Okay, on the outside, still having access to that beautiful little spot out there is 236. You have to stop halfway down. 235 over on the right. Again, up and to the right to get to your flat spot. Water's kind of tucked back over there. Not the easiest to access. 238 over here, again with a stop board and a tent site. 237, this one goes back and to the left to get up to the flat section. 240 on my left, sloping way down, never really gets flat. It's going to be a hard one to level at unless you're a very short trailer. 239 on the right, again with power. This one has the power pole over on the right. 242 on my left, fairly flat and level coming in. A little bit of a slope, but not bad. Again, a stop point. Don't go all the way down. 241 is the handicap or the accessible site. And then 243 on the left. And I'm going to go loop back around to go to the middle where things split apart again. Okay, I'm standing in the middle of this western wing of the campground, I say. It has a big loop and then one center section down half of it. So we're going to go explore that half, which is 244 through 254. On my left is 245 and 246, a pair over here. The fifth wheel over here is 244. For reference, you can see the little teardrops over there now. 247 on my right. Fairly flat, wide, your choice of what you want to do. Power pole over on the right there. 248 on my left. Easy back in, straight 45 there. 249, 250. pair over on the right with power. Lots of flexibility there. No green space for the games, but there's the woodpecker you're gonna hear. 251 over here. Fairly level, pretty level. It's a pretty good site. 252 on my left. Not huge, but you could come in, turn the corner if you want, or whatever you want to do there. 253 over on my right. Starts over there, comes way back over here. Fairly deep. And then there's one left down here at 254. Comes all the way back over there. That's again pretty deep site. A little bit of an upslope on that. And then the shower house over here. All right, so I'm here for the full day. I'm staying here again tonight, which is kind of rare for me to actually spend 2 nights in one campground. But I'm gonna go do some hiking, go explore parts of this park I haven't been to before. I do have a complete video tour of Cox Hollow Campground I did before, and a hike out to Stevens Falls from there. Go ahead and check that out. This will wrap up this video of this complete tour of Twin Valley Campground at Governor Dodge State Park. So that'll cover all of that, and I think that's plenty of one video here for you. I will have another video that shows you whatever I discover today. I have no idea what I'm going to find. We'll go find out together in the next video. Thanks for watching. Get on out there.